Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's session. And today it's a special day because we have a guest speaker who will be here to share with us how you can be able to level up your career through mentorship. Uh, I am a product of several mentors, and they have helped me get where I am. She will also share with us her story of mentorship, probably what she has gained from her mentors, and how also she has mentored others. So I'm really excited that you have decided to show up and come live for this session. If you're also watching the replay, I'm sure you're going to get something that is of value. So let me know in the comments that you can see me, you can hear me, you can at least we can be able to interact. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. We'll be able to pull it up. So let me just ask here if you are you ready. So if you're ready, also let me know in the chat. I like having this session as interactive as possible. So without further ado, allow me to welcome my guest today, Grace Zula. How are you, Grace?
I am very well, Daniel. How are you?
I'm also very well. Great to have you this evening.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an
Yeah,
honor.
yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Good. I can see already people are coming in saying that yes, they are ready. Thank you, Ponel. Let me know also where you're joining us from. What is your expectation? I'll be happy to check those comments. So as we start, I'm really honored to also have you on board today to talk about things to do with mentorship, especially in people's career. And as we start off, maybe you can just take a moment to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your journey. I know you are in the HR space. How did you get into HR, and what really inspired you even to become a certified coach?
Thank you very much, Daniel. My name is Grace Nzula. I'm a HR consultant and I am also a training facilitator. I'm a lead consultant at a company called Atara Solutions. Atara is Atarah. Now, at Atara Solutions, we offer for services. We do what we call HR manager outsourced for the small organizations that are looking to outsource their HR. We also have recruitment and selection. We offer HR consulting, and we also offer learning and development. Now, my journey as an HR, I did not start off as a HR consultant. I was employed for quite a number of years. I think currently I have about what 16 years experience in the industry. I started off, those are the ones I can put in the CV, but I think I started working in third year. Back in the days, we used to be picked from campus to go and run small organizations. And I was lucky enough to, in the course that I was in, it had quite a demand, especially in the call centers. That's where I started. However, in HR, I did not start off as an HR professional. I like saying that when I'm speaking to young people, because a lot of people think that because you did not do what you really wanted to do, you're lost course. So I did not start off as an HR. I actually picked up HR along the way, and it's a career that I have really, really enjoyed. I think I actually love my job. I love what I do, and I started off as an admin. I remember being the only girl in a room full of men, and I had to do receptionist work, do HR work, do administrative work, do PR, all those things at once in that institution. And then from there, I moved and I became a personal assistant actually for about 3 months. And in that same organization, they did not have an HR. And because I had background in HR, I went and picked that. So I was like, you know what, I can do this. And they actually gave me an opportunity to do it. So that was an amazing opportunity for me. And probably that's where I can say and talk about a lot of the mentorship that I got. In as much as in the other practice, I still used to get mentored. But I think the one that stuck with me was when I started practicing HR. So what inspired me to become a certified coach? I believe in equipping myself with skills because I need to set myself apart. And coaching is one of those things that I really, really enjoy doing. and they come naturally for me. So what I did, I pushed myself after COVID. I told myself that every year I would actually get a
Mm-hmm.
new skill.
Okay.
So I have stuck to that every single year since 2021, I have actually gotten a new certification. So I
Ah.
try to do courses that are not more than 6 months long, and at least
Mm-hmm.
there is a skill. It has to be very practical for me, and then it of course aligns with what I do. So that is how I became a certified coach, and that's part of how I joined HR.
Ah, interesting, interesting. So this year, what skill are you pursuing, or course would you want to do, or you have already started doing?
Not yet, not yet, not yet. So I'm finishing my coaching emotional. So there's what we call a certified emotional intelligence coach. So I'm
Ah,
still,
okay.
I'm actually graduating in February.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I started last year, and I'm still doing it now. The other
Ah,
skill I
okay.
decided to pick was golf. I
Okay.
started playing golf.
Uh,
So I want to perfect that skill this year. And then as I figure out which other certification to take. But those are my priorities. At least finish the emotional intelligence coach and then
mhm.
upgrade my skills in golf. I am still we call them kurutus in Kenya. What? I've
Still
forgotten the
learning.
English. Rookies. Yes, I'm a
Rookies.
rookie. Yes, I'm
Ah,
a rookie. Yeah, yeah.
okay, okay. And from your career journey, I think, as you said, you didn't start in HR. You have done several things to the point where, of course, you have been recognized and awarded even in the space of HR. What would you say are some of the most significant moments in your career, looking back?
Most significant moments. Oh God, I've had many.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think. Number one, being able to start rise. The day I was given the letter to become the head of HR in that organization, having started from
Uh,
being a PA and rising the ranks, I think that was a highlight
mhm,
for me. And of
mhm.
course, it was amazing to have won the awards for the most inspiring female HR in 2020. Was it 2021? Yes. That was amazing. And also the people I get to interact with every day. It's normally like a really serious highlight for me. And I think because I also enjoy learning and delivering training. The first time I actually stood to speak to over 500 people. I have never
Ah,
forgotten that day. Yeah.
interesting, interesting, interesting. And I know all these different moments get to do something in terms of your career and your performance, and they shape how you get along your career. So we're here mainly to talk about mentorship. But in your own life, what would you, or in your own career, what would you say is what mentorship has done? What role has it played? One, in your professional growth, and also different instances that you would say this is what this specific maybe mentor took me through, and yeah, at least some of the impact it has had in your own professional life.
Tell you what, Daniel, I am who I
Mhm.
am because I've had an opportunity to stand in the shoulders of giants, like Isaac Newton says. I
Yeah.
have had an opportunity for mentorship through and through, including now. I
Okay.
value mentorship. I
Mm.
because you know mentorship is really about learning from someone who's been there. It's really about Oprah says that mentorship is about someone seeing hope in you, you
Mhm.
know, and being able to unleash your potential. And one thing that has worked for me, and especially in my mentee journey, is
Mhm.
I am very curious. I ask. I don't get. I don't like getting stuck. So every time I get stuck, I don't go back and coy and start wondering, oh my God, why me? Oh, how do I figure this out? No, I actually
Mhm.
be like, you know what? I know somebody who knows something. So I'll
Mhm.
just one phone call. I'm like, yeah, I'm dealing with one, two, three, four things. Please help. And this person would be happy to help. So for me, mentorship has really been is actually part of my everyday to do. Being a mentee, learning from others. It's not necessarily structured. I don't know whether at some point we'll be talking about how mentorship works, but I choose to learn from people who have been where I want to go.
Right.
And especially I want to learn what are some of the mistakes they've made, what are some of this, what has worked for them, and I want to know, do you think that is the same path? Because sometimes somebody somebody is coming to Nairobi and they really don't have to get stuck in Naivasha Nairobi highway, and sometimes you just ask, how do I get to Nairobi? And they'll be like, you know what, there's traffic here, wait and go tomorrow. Or wait, there's traffic here, but you can use Thika Highway, or rather the road that goes to Kinangop to Thika and then back to Nairobi. So it's like shedding light. And the thing about mentorship is also being aware that whatever it is that you're learning from, you don't have to implement all of it.
Okay.
You know, because mentorship is somebody sharing their journey because they have been where you want to go. So they'll tell you that these are some of the mistakes I made. And then you get to decide. You get to decide. Do I want to make the same mistakes, or am I choosing a different path?
Yeah.
And no one, and you can choose a different path. So it's choosing what to do with the information that you get. It's choosing to get inspired by the path of this other person. It's also choosing to notice the potential in you that you can get where that other person is. So for me, mentorship it's my everyday. Like, I cannot say that I am who I am because I have not been mentored. I've been mentored as an HR professional. I've been mentored right now in business. So every stage, there's this book that says, what got you here will not get you there.
Yeah.
I take it literally. What got you here will not get you there. So you can be an award-winning professional, but that's it. We celebrate today. But I need to maintain that title. I need to get another one. I need to achieve greater. So I behave like a salesperson. That your success today is not your success tomorrow. So you need to actually keep growing, keep challenging yourself to go further. Keep picking up new tools. Keep picking up new skills. That way you keep evolving, and you keep discovering a better version of you. And I'm telling you, Mutuko, we have so much potential that is so untapped that if we dared to just try something new and then look for mentors to walk with us that journey, then whatever you get to achieve, you'll also surprise yourself.
For sure. And let's maybe look at how does this mentorship work? Because I know you can have mentors who they don't know you exist, in terms of you follow them, you read their books, maybe follow their programs, their videos on YouTube. And there's also that bit where you have like a mentor who they know they're actually actively mentoring you. You have maybe a formal setup where you meet once a week or once a month, or they're mentoring you on a specific issue or aspect. So what would you have to say in terms of what is the best structure, or which structure works best? And if someone is just starting, what should they be maybe looking out for?
All right. So we have 2 or more, probably about 4 types of mentorship. We have mentorship. Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We are good.
Oh, all right. So we have 4 types of mentorship that I can name here. I'm sure there are more. We have what we call a structured mentorship, which it's very formal. It has a structure. It has a beginning, it has middle, it has an end, it has specific topics chosen. It is very, very structured, and it has a flow,
Right.
right? And that is probably what you find in these most of the mentorship programs that are running in organizations, because some of them have to have structures, they have to have a way of measuring impact, a way of measuring success, and they have to have something that people can actually measure ROI, or return on investment. That's the structured side. Then we have the unstructured one, which is okay, you can have a one-on-one session, you can choose how to do that. And then you can also have the unstructured one, or informal, so to speak. So the informal ones is the one that, like you said, I know, I see you, I see what you're doing, I know about you, I even read about you, I am stalking you on all social media because I really want to see what you're up to, what is next, because you sort of inspire me to become, or you're where I want to get. And I think you're inspiring, so I want to follow that. And sometimes I don't even let you know that you're my mentor. Sometimes I just allow what you're doing inspire me to unleash my potential. And then you also have the unstructured one, where, for example, your friends, or you have met me as Grace,
Yeah.
and every now and then you want to ask a question, right?
Right.
So we know each other, yes, we don't have a formal arrangement, but at this point we actually sit. You have a question about something that I have done, you will ask, I give you guidance, and then that's it. Yeah. So it's not necessarily very structured, it's unstructured, like the other one. So you have the informal and formal ones. And then you also have group mentorship programs, where you can have one mentor taking you through different topics. It could be structured, it could be unstructured, but you can decide how the mentorship is going to be. And you remember, like, when in our African culture, fathers used to mentor boys and mothers used to mentor girls, and they used to sit around the fireplace for the kids and their mothers, and they used to sit around their
Yeah.
fireplace, and their grandmother would give them stories. That is a form of mentorship that
Yeah.
we sort of have lost with our culture. So, and that would have lessons at the end of the day. So yeah, we have those two. Let me just summarize them as formal and informal kind of mentorship.
Ah, good, good, good. Interesting. So, if someone would be interested now to say, let me look for a more structured kind of mentorship, where either I can be part of a group if there's a program running, or I would want to approach an individual, maybe in your workplace, maybe in your industry, maybe just someone you admire. What would you say are some of the qualities of a good mentor that you would start looking at? Because I know from just research and studies that you will have someone mentoring you on a specific aspect of work. Let's say I am getting into business, and there is this business person who has been able to set up their structures very well. I like how they do business, but probably there are some areas that they are not really good at. Maybe their spiritual side or their family side. So how would I decide to pick someone as a mentor? What are some of the qualities that I should maybe be looking out for, or someone wants to grow in their career? How would they decide who they want to go for?
Thank you for that question. First of all, you don't have to have one mentor. You can have as many as you want. If this person inspires you in business, go with that one for the business angle. Then you have this other person who inspires you from a family point of view. Go with that one for that point. If you have somebody else who inspires you by how they dance, because your part of your social life is also learning how to dance, go for that one. You can have as many mentors as you wish, depending on what you want to achieve in life. Now, how do you choose or how do you look out for a mentor? Number one, you need to find somebody who has been where you want to be. You need to look out for somebody who has been where you want to be. That's the first thing. Number two, this person must inspire you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be mentored by somebody who is not inspiring you. It won't work.
Right.
They must sort of trigger some inspiration and motivation for you to keep going, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to look for somebody who's been where you want to be. You also need to look for somebody who inspires you by probably how they do things. And then you also need to do research about them. Yeah, because sometimes people are not open to mentorship. Sometimes you realize that like you're saying, this person is just good in business and that's it. And then you also need to ask yourself, do you think you would be able to work well with them?
Mm.
This person you're identifying, if you were to put it down like in point form, Daniel Mutuko is my mentor. I would like Daniel Mutuko to be my mentor. Point one, does he inspire me? Point two, has he been where I want to be? Point three, do I think I will be able to work with them well? And then can they be able to guide me towards where I want to get to? Because mentorship is just not blank. It has to have some goal. You know, even the informal mentorship where you look at Grace Nzula and you think, and you're like, oh my God, you're my mentor. I am mentoring you because probably I'm speaking to a goal you want to achieve. So there's something that you want to achieve. So as you choose a mentor, are they able to actually guide you towards the goal that you have? And then the most important one, are they really happy in what they're doing?
Uh,
You know, because if you want me to mentor you, and I am so sad being a HR, honestly, will I actually be able to deliver that? I can't.
yeah, yeah.
So, are they finding joy in what they're doing? Those are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself. And then, do they also have the time to
Mm-hmm.
mentor? Yeah. And the other thing, because you have like paid mentorship programs, you also have people who do it for free. Where are you? Are you able to afford to buy their time? Are you not able to afford to buy their time? Where exactly do you belong? And then your drive for looking for a mentor, is
Mm-hmm.
it because you're stuck and you actually need to unstuck to get unstuck? Or it's because you just want to grow and so you're looking at the step-by-step areas of growth? Because sometimes people need a coach, but they'll go for a mentor.
Uh,
Sometimes you actually need a therapist
okay.
and you think that
That
you
is
need
interesting.
a
That is quite
mentor.
interesting. Yeah. How do you differentiate? What's the work of a coach? What's the work of a mentor? How do you differentiate where to go? Because I normally get that question a lot. Or someone says, I want you to coach me. And someone will be like, I want you to mentor me. Where do you draw the line? Or what are the key differences between these two?
So mentorship is, like I said, somebody who has been where you want to go. So this
Mm-hmm.
is somebody who uses their experience to give guidance. That's
Mm-hmm.
mentorship.
Right.
Coaching, you don't have to even be in the same career. You could be totally different because
Mm-hmm.
coaching is about unleashing potential through questions. So it's like
Uh-huh.
you're getting support or a place where a sounding board.
Mm-hmm.
So you are looking to grow, you're looking to excel in something, and you're not looking for somebody who has really necessarily been doing what you want. So they
Mm-hmm.
just give you guidance through questions. They don't actually give you answers.
Mm-hmm.
They what do we call it, they guide you through questions to discovering your next level. So normally for coaching is to actually, okay, the reason it's sort of confused is because both of them are actually to support you growing and living your full potential. But now
Mm.
coaching, you don't have to have gone through what the person is aspiring to become.
Yeah. I
And
like
coach,
that.
or rather mentorship.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like that because they.
And then
I did not
counseling,
know so
because
about
they're
this
also
program. Yeah.
confused.
Sorry, you're going. You're saying. Oh, there's something we were saying before. I think I cut you short.
Yeah, no, I was saying even counseling. People confuse mentorship,
Wow.
coaching, and counseling as well.
Okay.
So, and counseling is about addressing the emotional bits or traumas or undealt with pain
Mm,
that stops you from living your full life. So, all of them are about helping you live the best of life, but all
mhm.
of them focus on very specific aspects of it, of you as an individual.
Ah, good, good. And what I wanted to say is, there's a program that I do run, a coaching program, and more it's about helping people who want to transition from maybe the corporate world into NGOs, the UN, and stuff. And there's usually that question: have you gotten a UN job yourself for you to help us get that? And yeah, I understand probably the perspective they're coming from, but sometimes it's just a way of dismissing you. And I like that idea of, you see, being a coach, you don't necessarily need to have gone through that experience. But by questioning and guiding someone, they can be able to see the path or what they need to take. Uh, I like using the example of Hussein Bolt and his coach. I think if you Google just Hussein Bolt's coach, he's a very big, huge person. Yeah, compared to Hussein Bolt, who is coaching to be able to run and to be the fastest person. I guess I don't know if the record has been broken. So you wouldn't say Hussein Bolt needs to fire his coach because he's not fit. He can't run. He can't break the world record. But because he knows how to train, he knows what needs to be done. Then it is easy for him to be able to take him through that process. Now, as we finish up, I would want to get to know from you that what are some of the actionable steps that you would want someone to take right here for them to grow in their career and really leverage this idea of mentorship? What would you really say?
You asked, what are the steps people can take?
Yes, yes. What are the actionable steps someone can be able to take right from this just conversation? And as you tell us that, then just give me a moment. I think I've seen some comments coming in. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I think Richard Bakoma told us what got you here would take you there. That is, I think, by Marshall Goldsmith. He has done a book on that. Thank you very much, Richard. I also see Gladys is here saying they're ready. If you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comments or any additional thing. I'll be happy to bring it up. So back to you, Grace. What are some of the actionable steps someone would want to hear this and say, oh, I have never maybe thought about mentorship as a way of growing my career? What would you want them to leverage or to take right away? Or some actionable steps they can take?
First of all, you need to define your goals, know what you want to achieve. That's step number one. Step number two, you need to identify a mentor.
Mhm.
Identify somebody who inspires you, somebody you can work with. Number three, decide whether you want to go the structured or unstructured way. You can actually incorporate both. There is no harm in it. You can
Mhm.
actually be you can actually leverage on both structured and unstructured.
Mhm.
Number four is decide what you want to achieve after the mentorship. So, for example, you can sign up for our mentorship program that's starting up on the 5th for all HR professionals. If you're a HR professional and you're willing to, or rather, you want to move from HR officer or a HR assistant to management level, this program is for you, and it doesn't necessarily capture HRs only. There's somebody who said, "I'm in finance, but I've been doing HR all my life. Can I also sign up?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" Because you probably will be ready because you've been doing this practically.
Mhm.
You can take advantage of such programs. Sign up. IHRM was running a mentorship program called Transcend. Take advantage of these opportunities because they will help you up level your career. If you look at what we'll be offering in our mentorship program that's starting in February, a lot of people have never done a HR audit. So we are
Mhm.
going to take you through the process. How is it that we do? And then at the end of each module, you're actually going to do a test. You're going to design a questionnaire to do an audit. You're going to test it, whether you're testing it with your friends. You also you'll also get an opportunity to do a HR report, because part of what you're doing is HR reporting. You want to go into management. How do you prepare budgets? So and how do you now switch from just being a paper pusher to actually becoming a management to be actually invited in the table, where you get to make decisions. You don't facilitate decisions, you actually become part of the decision making. That is what we will be offering. So I would actually encourage you, if you're here, right now, the way we are at, it's really important, because we have a lot of theories in our education system, quite a lot of theories. So if you can, please sign up for the structured mentorship, because then it can help you progress and also measure the results, so that it's just not an inspiration. It's also it has step-by-step actions that will help you actually get to where you want to be. So it's important that in 2025, maybe one of the skills that you want to pick out is how to become a better HR professional. So if that's the case, reach out to us. We are going to guide you on that. If one of the things that you want to choose to become is probably host and whatever, like what Daniel is doing, reach out to Daniel and see whether he's also running a mentorship program. We grow because others went before us. We learn from others' mistakes. I keep saying, please don't wait to make your own mistakes. You don't have to. You really don't have to. You don't have to make all the mistakes your friends and your parents and your brothers and sisters made. You don't have to. You can learn from the mistakes and make different choices for yourself. So take advantage of mentees, or rather of mentors. And I can tell you, most of the programs that I've been through, I was part of the group that set up with Richard here. We were part of the group that set up the Transcend Mentorship program. And I can tell you, we were also inspired. We also learned, we also got to understand how some of these things are done. So it's what we call reverse mentorship, where instead of the mentor mentoring the mentee, even the mentee mentors the mentor. So we had a lot of that. I mean, I am your mentor, but you inspire me in other ways. I was hanging out with one of our staff who does our digital, and I was like, so how do you do this camera? Then he's showing me, he's like, no, you don't take photos like that, you take photos like this. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, I want to learn that. You see? So you would think that I don't think that I'm a know-it-all. I want to learn. And I don't have to learn from people in management only. I can learn from my juniors. And I believe that is actually probably part of who I am and what has propelled me to be who I am today, because I really want to learn, and I do not choose, like I'm saying, you know what, I am, humility is part of it. So we need to learn from other people's mistakes and also their successes.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. So let me just emphasize, if you're there and you would want to join this mentorship program, the details are right there on the screen. And I thought it would be easy if someone would want to get in touch. I think from the post I've gotten this number. Feel free to just note it down or take a screenshot of here right now, so that you can call, get more information, or you can also email. Sorry, I guess there's a Atara, not Arara. Let me just edit that shortly. As I do that and bring it up, I think I've seen a question here from a gentleman called Abdi Shakur Adan. In the process of following the mentorship programs, what keeps you moving when you face challenges? I don't know, is it as the mentee who is facing challenges, what should keep them moving, or is it you as a mentor? Let's talk you as the mentor, Grace. When you're facing challenges, what keeps you going?
So when I face challenges as a mentor, one thing I normally do is ask myself, why is this the way it is? Is it because we did this differently? Is it because our relationship is not working? Because sometimes you'll find a mentor that you cannot get along with, that you're not gelling in terms of personalities. And that means that you're going to have issues. And then and I keep saying that when you are a mentor and your mentee and you're the one pushing the mentee, then my friend, that's not mentorship. You if you want to and I can tell you this as a secret, if you want a mentor, you need to drive that conversation, because the mentor will be so busy doing other things that they will not even remember they are mentoring. So you need to drive that conversation on the process, because you are the one with goals. My goal is probably to give back to society. My goal is to make sure, for example, in our mentorship program, our goal is to make sure that we have more competent HR professionals, that we don't I got into management and I had no idea what I was doing. I got into HR without really knowing. And I learned, I'm telling you. I used to go to, I remember my friend Raymond can tell you, I used to call him. He'll be like, Grace, yes, yes. And even if, and I was mentored by not just one person. I was given an opportunity and I jumped into the deep end. So challenges will always be there. Challenges are part of the process. Sometimes you'll find even time constraints. Yeah. But you have to be committed. You choose to do something, you see it through. You be committed to it. Sometimes the challenge would be maybe you need to unhook from this because maybe you're not able, it's not meeting your needs. You also you need to have very honest conversations with yourself and also with your mentor. And you're like, you know what? I feel like the last session wasn't very clear to me. Do you mind if we went through it? Or during this session, I've encountered this challenge. How do you think we can handle it? So, and for me as a mentor, every time I face a challenge, if I can't deal with it myself, I have other people that I work with. I have my sounding board, I have my colleagues, I have my friends, I have people that I talk to every time I'm facing challenges, both in career and both in as a human being. So I'll just make a phone call. I'm like, I'm stuck here. I'm facing this challenge and I'm getting frustrated. And just there and then they'd be like, so have you tried this? I'm like, oh, okay. So as a mentor, that's how I deal with it. As a mentee as well, I think that applies to you as well. You need to have very honest conversations with yourself. You need to ask the why analysis. Why is this a challenge? What exactly is it? I wish there was an example of a specific challenge that would really address, because you need to look at challenges specifically. And sometimes with coaching, we are told you need to listen to what people are not saying.
Okay. Tell us more
because
about that.
You'll come and say, I hear people say, I am so frustrated. I can't. I really need to change my job. I am done. I am so done with this place. And you're like, so why are you done? And they'll be like, oh, the decisions are being made without me. Oh, all this noise. And I'm like, okay. So let's write everything down. Let's look at everything that's really frustrating you. And by the time you're done unpacking each one of them, this person realizes, wait a minute, they were actually not frustrated by the decisions being made. They actually have been burnt out and they just need a week off by the end of the day. It's their good morning. You say, how are you today? I'm fine. Or somebody just comes and they're crying and they're like, oh, I'm so sad. I am whatever. And you unpack why they are sad. And you realize the first reason they gave you and the last reason they are giving you are two very different things. So sometimes we deal with not the roots, but we deal with the, what do we call it? The
symptoms. Yeah.
The symptoms, yes. We deal with the symptoms and not addressing the real issues. So we start giving painkillers. And then instead of giving antibiotics and making sure that you're eating right. Yes.
I totally agree with you. Thank you. Again, if you have any question, feel free to drop that. Just reminding you of the coaching program or the mentorship program. That is a Growth Grid mentorship that you can be able to join. I want to believe that I got now the email address correct. You can drop them an email, info@atarasolutions.co.ke. Still net. I'll still
Atara is ATARAH. Yes, info@atarasolutions.co.ke.
I think I'm just confusing the R and the H. Let me
And the
save
T.
this one. Yeah, we got it right now.
Now you got it right. Yes.
Yes. So feel free to drop that email, info@atarasolutions.co.ke, or also you can give them a call to get more information. When is the program starting?
On the 5th of February, and it's an 8-week program that will be running every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. or is it 7 p.m.?
Yes.
7:30
I'm seeing
p.m. to
7:30
8:30
p.m.
p.m. Yes, to 8:30 p.m. every Wednesday, and it's only for 24,000 bob.
Good stuff.
Yeah, early bird ended.
Oh, Alibad ended. It was okay. You can still join. I think it is a worth investment. I normally say the best investment you can ever have is to invest in yourself. You'll be surprised how much return that you get from there. I can see Adan saying there, thank you for the answer. One more last question before we close it up for today. I think this is a question that I also got. What are some of the common career challenges you have observed as a professional, and how can mentorship help address this? I think probably as a professional, you have seen certain challenges people are going through, and you feel or you're sure they would benefit more from maybe mentorship. What are some of those common challenges you have seen people face in their careers?
Promotions.
Mhm.
The promotion is an amazing thing, but it can also become a challenge because, say, for example, you are running an office as an HR assistant or an HR officer, and then boom,
Mhm.
your HR manager resigns. Then you have to take over office.
Mhm.
What do you do?
You
And you
need
probably
to be
had
better
not
prepared.
yeah, so that is one of the things that mentorship answers. So you need to be ready when
Mhm.
such opportunities come, because they will come. Growth is part of the process. So if you get a promotion and you want to figure out how to do things, then yes, that's an opportunity for mentorship. What the other challenge that I've seen is because we deal with people, and human beings are quite unpredictable. So sometimes you're faced with challenges and you don't know how to handle things, right?
Mhm.
So and you need to call a mentor and just get prepared for and handle maybe a certain situation. And then the other thing could also be when you're looking to move jobs.
Uh, mhm.
You're because sometimes workplace is not going very well, you're looking for more money, or you're looking for transitions, you're looking for change of environment, and you want to transition. So you also need to get mentorship so that you can probably go to a better position that you are at than you are at, or just be able to thrive in the next institution that you're going into. And then probably the other thing, because if you're stuck, if you're stuck, yes, if you're stuck, you can go with a mentor, but look for a mentor who is also a coach
Uh,
so that you can take advantage of both the mentorship part and also the coaching part, because the coaching part is where now you actually get to unstuck. The mentorship part is where I give you hope when you're stuck. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you joining us and sharing your insights. Again, reminding people that they can be able to join the program. They can get in touch with you. I think the phone number is even quicker. They can get in touch. As we finish up, what would you say as your parting shot?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for the opportunity. But before that, before I say my thank you and all that, allow me to say I like the quote by Jay Lauren, who says, if you cannot see where you're going, ask someone who has been there. If you cannot see where you're going, ask someone who has been there. So the
Mhm.
same way you get lost in the streets of Nairobi, the same way you get lost in the streets of London, the same way you get lost in wherever it is that you've gone to, and
Mhm.
you stop by the roadside to ask a boda boda guy to guide you. It's the same way you need to do with your career. Don't just wait for when you're lost. Be proactive, because getting lost is part of the process. So
Yes.
eventually, at some point, you're gonna get lost. So before you get lost, preventive is better than curing. So be proactive, learn from those who've been there before, observe what they're doing, nurture relationships. Yeah, allow me to say this, Daniel. I see, and especially when you're you're in an informal mentorship. Some of the things that I've seen mentees do is assume that a mentor will reach out to you. They may not. They may not. They don't know what you're going through because it's not structured. So you need to nurture a relationship. I keep saying, sir, and for me, let me give myself as an example. I know a lot of people who tell me that, Grace, you're my mentor. And I'm like, I'm honored to be a mentor. I'm honored that I inspire you, And if you want more from that mentorship angle, not just by seeing what I have done and it inspires you. If you want to have maybe a bigger conversation, then you need to nurture that relationship. It's very important. I keep telling people, I've had situations, some of my friends, I'll just be like, hey, I need this. And there are people who probably I'm 10, 15 years older than they are.
Right.
I will also go to people who are older than me and I'm like, because I'm the one who needs it. So, and those are not structured mentorship programs. Those are informal. I know my needs and I want them met. So I communicate my needs. Yeah.
I've seen a question here. I think that is still saying, what message would you send to those who don't have any mentors and feel helpless as they pursue their career?
Instead of feeling helpless, look for mentors. Look for a mentor who can mentor you. And like we have said, look for mentors even if they're just going to inspire you. Because desperation is because there's a need that's not met. So you're getting frustrated. So instead of getting frustrated, go to YouTube, check out what other people who have done what you have done are saying, I one day you'll find me watching things about leadership. The next thing you'll find me learning finance. The next day you'll find me, because I want to become a better version of me. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm getting frustrated by something. So I switch from frustration. I use that as an opportunity to get somebody to work with me, even if you have to pay for it. If you're working, you can actually afford it. I keep saying you have to invest in your circle of excellence. And your circle of excellence has 5 people. It has a coach, it has a mentor, it has a therapist, it has a friend. Friends are very important in our circle of excellence. And for us in business, it has a banker, stroke a lawyer, because we need to get it right. So as an employee, get a mentor, get a coach, get a therapist, get a friend that you can talk to about work issues. Not just any friend, those guys you're drinking with only. Get a friend you can actually talk to about work issues. So even if you need to spend some money, just look for that money and spend a bit of it. So that then instead of getting stuck, you start finding solutions. Then you start thriving, And sometimes because you cultivate a culture of mentorship, it becomes very important. It becomes important because this person will also mention your names in rooms you're not.
Yeah.
When opportunities come, So it's really important that you get and cultivate relationships. Offer to help. Sometimes I'm inspired by people who be like, Grace, you have an event. I want to come and help. I'm like, oh yeah, this is somebody who is driven, And if I had an opportunity, I'd be happy to support them. So it's good to offer help. It's good to nurture relationships. It's also good to be very clear that, Grace, I am with you today. I want you to do mentorship, and these are my areas of focus. And of course, if you do not want that, please sign up for the structured mentorship programs. They're very important.
Sure. For sure. You have said that, and I've remembered, lucky I've been able to pull this is a screenshot of a gentleman called Achiri. This is an email he sent me. He said, "Hello, Daniel. I am very happy because after following you for like 6 months on how to write a CV, how to answer questions for an interview, I was blessed with a job in microfinance. God bless you, from Cameroon." This someone who, instead of feeling desperate and we are in two different countries, decided just to take the mentorship, as much as I don't know, based on the content that I am able to produce, and learn something and take some action. So I guess that is equally possible for you. Decide what is it that you want. That is Abdi Shakur. Then do that unstructured mentorship. Then if you get to a point where you are able to afford even the structured mentorship and joining a program, then well and good. Thank you for that. I think this illustrates the point. Oh, I'll throw one more question. How does one nurture a relationship with a mentor? I think this should be the last one before we close. How does one nurture a relationship with a mentor? Because I think you've mentioned it's important for someone to nurture that relationship.
My question would be, how do you nurture normal relationships? It's the same thing. You need to identify, and if you can go back to, maybe after this you can review the session, and you will see where I talked about how you choose a mentor. If you choose a mentor who you can work well with, it means that you guys gel. And if you gel, it means you can cultivate a relationship. You can have coffee, have meetups, organize for meetups, engage in coffee, attend an event together. If you see, for example, if Adan is your mentor and Adan is attending this event, ask him about more details about the event, attend, get opportunities to connect with them. Because the more you interact, the more you build a relationship, not stalking. Sometimes you think you want to stalk me on WhatsApp, and then no, that's not nurturing. It's about connecting. Nurturing relationships is about connecting. And one of the things that I've seen work is also offering help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and maybe constantly just trying to support. And that's why I said you really need to know who your mentor is, so that you're able to build that relationship. Otherwise, if you want a mentor, and this is for the informal setup, yeah. For the structured mentorship, that's very easy. We have goals. We know what you're covering. We finish. We will connect while at it, because we have something that is keeping us going. But in the informal one, then you have to be proactive in making sure that you actually are connecting more, so that then it becomes, the conversations flow. There are people that I have mentored informally, and they'll be like, Grace, at 10 p.m., Grace, I am going through this. How can I do? I got a phone call the other day. It's like, Grace, I want to offer a training. How much do I charge? Those are my mentees. That's an informal way of mentorship. So, and the reason why I will quickly answer is because we already have a relationship. So it's about offering help. It's about being able to connect with these people, yeah. And be
Awesome.
authentic while at it. Don't go, kujipendekeza.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I think. As we finish up, let's have at least some appreciation message in the comments as we close it up. Let me know what you have learned. Just drop in any comment, anything that you have learned. What is your key takeaway from today's session? And yes, now, Grace, you can do the thank yous and close it up and give us your finishing words.
Thank you very much for having me. It was awesome. I have enjoyed. And I hope that the people here can also get to sign up for the Growth Grid Mentorship Program that's starting on the 5th. We look forward to growing together. We would want to have competent HRs in this country, and that's what we are also driving towards. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I hope that you have learned something. And please, don't do life alone. Look for mentors. Look for mentors, look for coaches, look for therapists, and live your full potential. And like Jennifer Karina says, what does she say? Live passionate. No. Gosh, I've forgotten. Love passionately. Live purposefully. Yeah, so I've picked it. Live purposefully, love passionately, and thrive unapologetically. And for you to do that, you need to walk in the shoulders of giants. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I see even Podel saying thank you for your answer. I really appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. And until next time, I'll see you then. We are out.
Bye-bye.